A very good morning to you. It's Thursday, the 3rd of January 2018. A warm welcome along on a cold morning, dear. Oh, I wasn't cold last night. I've done a few bits and pieces in this caravan which have made me feel even less cold. It was lovely and warm, and I had a whole night in the caravan last night. Tell you about it a little bit later. A very good morning to you, boys and girls. My sister comes out with some classics, I have to say, and has come out with classics over the years. Examples of these classics are when I'm on the phone to her and it's breaking up a bit, she requests, should I stand closer to the router? As a Sharon classic. And she came out with a new, two new classics in one day. I couldn't believe it. Some of the stuff my sister comes out with is just hilarious. And yesterday, we were talking about her husband, Martin, who apparently has now almost become vegan, except for the meat. I don't know where she gets this stuff from. Martin, my brother-in-law, has almost become vegan, except for the meat. That's number one yesterday, and there's another one coming up in a moment. And talking of this whole vegan thing, I noticed this does appear to be gathering pace. Where's my glasses this morning? There they are. This whole vegan thing at the moment seems to be gathering pace. I notice at the moment there are two companies now who have bought out vegan products. I believe this one started yesterday. Here we go. And it's in yesterday's day. Sorry, was it in yesterday's? Yes, it was in yesterday's. Oh, hang on a minute. This is jumping all over the place this morning. Bloody adverts that keep coming up on the blooming Daily Mail site. This started yesterday. It's in the Daily Mail, and it says Greg's hotly anticipated vegan sausage roll is set to launch today. Actually, it says tomorrow, so that's today, just in time for Veganuary. Now, Veganuary is this thing. Some vegan groups have come out with who say try vegan for a month and see how it goes. Vegan means nothing to do with animals at all. Now, if you're vegetarian, you don't eat meat or any sort of dead animals. Yeah, I take it one stage further and I say, I don't eat dead animals. Would you like a piece of steak? Oh, no, thank you. I don't really eat dead animals. You know, that's how I say it. You know, as a little bit of humour. We need to be humorous, not militant. No need to go around burning down sheds and things like that, vegan people. There really isn't need to do that. I am not a militant person. You know, I will suggest in a nice way, you know, we might be going in for something. Yeah, I might be walking into a restaurant and I'll just stop randomly at a table and say, are you enjoying your dead animals today? And they say, what? The dead animals that you're eating. I hope you're enjoying those today. And I'll just walk off. You've got to have a little bit of humour in it. I'm not a militant vegan. I'm not going to go in there, grab the bit of dead animal off your plate and throw it in your face or anything like that. I think it's completely and totally unnecessary to do things like that. I do understand vegans who go around cutting fences and letting chickens running all over the place. Running all over the place, they are, dear. I get that. But as for beating people up and all that, we're not really into that. Do you know what I mean? So I do understand it. The story goes on. An email leaked in December confirming the launch set social media ablaze with meat eaters and vegetarians alike. So the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian, as I was just saying there, a vegetarian doesn't eat dead animals, but I'm vegetarian, we would, for example, eat honey, perhaps drink milk, anything to do with dairy, this, that and the other. Now, the argument is some of the dairy industry, believe me, is as bad as the abattoirs and places like that. What they have to do to get a load of milk out more is not nice. Not going to go into it now. Go and have a look on YouTube. You know, the truth about dairy industry or something like that. All right, can I just turn my heating off? I'm just getting a bit warm in here. So there's all that as well. Being a vegan means you eat stuff that is nothing and wear stuff. Okay, the whole thing, wearing, eating. It's quite difficult. You've got to be thinking about it. And you have nothing whatsoever to do with animal products. Nothing. No leather, nothing. You know. And it's something that I've considered, to be honest. I think it's quite a difficult thing to do. And then you get idiots. You know, you might be going around, oh, yes, I'm vegan. Oh, yeah, but you've got leather shoes on. Yeah, but they're old leather shoes. Well, you shouldn't be wearing them. Well, what do you want me to do? Chuck them out? Like, you know, I've had them for years. You get idiots like that all the time. The same idiots that sort of say, oh, a carrot has feelings. You know, just to back up their own thing of eating dead animals. But there we are. Anyway, to go back to this story for Greggs, there's 2 large companies that have launched new stuff this week. An email leaked in December confirmed the launch set social media ablaze, with meat eaters and vegetarians alike desperate to get their hands on the meat and dairy-free offering. Remember, this is dairy-free as well. So you've got the pastry around it. You know, you've got to add a bit of milk and all that to make pastry. Somehow they've made it without using milk. It says the £1 Quorn sausage roll, which I suppose that's a reasonable price, isn't it, has been fiercely, it's like this programme, it is fierce. We are fierce this morning. Has been fiercely discussed on social media, with Greggs trending on Twitter in the UK after the announcement. But will the pork-free sausage roll live up to expectations, satisfying both carnivores and plant-based dieters? The Daily Mail female put the pastry to the test, with 5 writers comparing the pork to the Quorn option. Now, Quorn is, it's like a mushroom-based product, and you can basically make it taste like whatever you want to taste. Meat is very similar. You know, it depends what spices and gravies and sauces you put with that item into how it tastes at the end of the day on your plate. Right? And with Quorn, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same. In my fridge at the moment, I've got Quorn burgers, which taste a little bit bacony, I would say. There's slightly bacon type flavour to them. And I also have Quorn peppered steaks, which taste like peppered steaks. Same product, slightly different spices on the top. Makes all the difference. I also make Quorn, I do eat a lot of Quorn. Quorn stew, which I do with chilli. I do Quorn chilli as well. So chilli in the Quorn stew and other bits and pieces. I do like a Quorn casserole, which tastes like a little bit beefy, with roast onion gravy. Delicious. And you're hard pushed to find the difference. You really are. It says, read on to find out if Greggs vegan sausage rolls fooled our meat eaters. So here we go. Pork versus vegan sausage roll showdown. It says, none of our 5, this was in the Daily Mail yesterday, none of our 5 blind taste testers were fooled by the Quorn version of the classic sausage roll, but most of them enjoyed it regardless. The main difference was the saltiness of the meat, the glaze and colour on the pastry, and the dryness. Number 1, here she goes. Now says, this girl, Siofra. Siofra? What sort of name is that? It's Siofra. How do you say that? Siofra says, I was actually really impressed. If I'd had it on its own without the meat one compared it to, I could have believed it was real meat. It had a good savoury flavour and a firm texture. We do like a firm texture, girls, don't we? I mean, I've got a very firm bottom. I'm just having a little feel now. Have a feel of your bums. Is it firm? Is it firm? Yes, I think that's quite a firm bottom that I've got. So a similar texture to my bottom, I would guess. She says, I had a good savoury flavour and a firm texture. It was more the vegan pastry that let it down, as it was quite dry. Once I ate the real thing, I could tell it was the non-vegan one, as it was more moist with flaky pastry. But I've never had a Greggs sausage roll before, so I could easily have been fooled. She gave it 4 out of 5. It's not bad, is it? That's the vegan sausage roll. Someone else called Unity. Have we got anyone here with normal names, for Christ's sake? Unity? Who's Unity? Unity, that's something that we don't have in this country at the moment, lovey. Unity, Blot, her name is. The filling on the vegan pastry was dry, lacking in flavour and hard to chew. Oh, I do like a good chew, don't you? Do you chew a lot? I do noisy chewing. It really pisses some people off, including, I think, great-nephew George. He hates me eating. And Chris, can you be quiet? Worst thing you can say to me. I'm just going to be more noisy. Who's a noisy eater? Are you a noisy eater? Are ya? The more annoyed I can make people, the happier I am. Believe me. Yeah. Eating away. Where are we? Lacking in flavour and hard to chew. More seasoning would have helped. Seasoning is the key to Quorn. It really is. The pastry was also brittle and not as flaky as I would have liked. The pork version had much more texture. The inside was moister and pastry and had a nice buttery sheen to it. Now, she only gave the vegan one 2 out of 5, so big difference there. At last, a normal name here. Maisie. Thank you. Maisie Bovington. This is this girl who tried this. I could kind of tell which one was vegan because of the colour, and it looked less glazed. It also has a bit more powdery taste with super flaky pastry. Taste-wise, both flavoured similarly with a herby taste, but the right one tasted saltier, so that would be the normal one. I probably would eat a vegan one over a sausage one, probably because it's less fatty, even if it's a little drier and not as golden. That's the other thing with this vegan place, and she gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So that's another high score. You have to remember, you know, Quorn stuff is virtually fat-free. I've got a George Foreman grill here. You get those so cheap. They're only 20 quid, aren't they? Do you remember when they first came out? George Foreman, they were really dear. Only 20 quid now. Get them down Asda. 20 quid. I think I saw one for £13 in Aldi the other week. George Foreman grill. Anyway, you put normal sausages or stuff and you've got that little plate thing you have underneath it to catch all the fat which rolls out of this thing. Put a couple of Quorn burgers in there, or Quorn steaks or Quorn sausages, anything like that. No fat. Absolutely none. Not even a drop. In fact, when you take these products out of the George Foreman grill, you're hard-pressed to find, well, in fact, I don't find any fat whatsoever in that George Foreman grill. And I turn it off, quick wipe out, it's clean. There is no fat. So if you want to lose a bit of weight as well, I mean, it does help. It must do, mustn't it? Sarah says, Married. Oh, here we go with the funny names again. Married. M-A-R-E-D. Who's called Married? And who wants to be anyway? Tied up to that same old bloke for years and years, girls. Do my bleeding head in, wouldn't it you? Because they all fall into their bad habits after a while, ladies. They do, dear. You know, they move in, they get married. That's it. They sit in the armchair then. No excitement at all. You know, boring men. They really are. They don't want to go out once they're married. They just want to sit in that armchair when they come home from work and drink their lager. Christ, the only place they want to do it is in the bedroom. So boring. Now, sorry? Married said, I could tell which one was real meat from the taste. I am a big Greg's fan. It was also greasier and looked more glazed on top. I bet this one's really fat. Shall we fat shame people today? I'm going to fat shame myself today. I am fat. I am. There are shirts now that won't do up. I must get back on this slimming world, dear. The only thing, it's really lacking in texture. I wouldn't choose it over a meat one just because I love meat too much. But if I was trying to cut down on meat consumption, I definitely would. Married says, the vegan offering was definitely a lot drier, but the taste was really good. It could definitely pass as real meat. I didn't have the other one to compare it to. And he gave it a 4 out of 5. He or she, Married. Is that a he or a she? So I don't even know. Could you put your... And what they need to do with these strange names is put the name and then put in brackets an F or an M to tell whether they're female. Oh, we're not allowed to do that anymore, are we? Oh, no, they might be bilinear. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. You haven't decided you can't be one way or the other. Bilinear. Load of old crap, that is. Vegan sausage roll rating, 4 out of 5. And finally, Sarah. At last, another normal name. Sarah says, the vegan one was quite tasty, and it does taste and smell a little meaty. But the real version looks more like a sausage roll and tastes a bit more meaty, but maybe a little more greasy. And she gave it 3 out of 5, so just over half. It says the vegan sausage roll has now launched in 950 stores across the UK. I don't know if that's all of them or just certain ones. And will cost £1, which is slightly more expensive than the regular version. I do not understand how it is more expensive to sell something that's vegetarian or vegan instead of meat. It's got to cost more to bring up a cow or a little pig or a chicken than it is to grow a mushroom-based product. It must be cheaper to do that. So I don't know how they get away with charging more for the vegetarian things, although I don't know the facts on that, so I can't really comment. Bargain hunters will be pleased to know that the pastry is included in Greg's savoury roll and hot drink deal for as little as £2.25, dear. That's the other thing with Greg's, you know, if you want a breakfast and you go in there and you get your cup of tea and your, I don't know, your cheese roll or something like that or whatever, or in this case, a vegan sausage roll, I think you get a bag of crisps as well, don't you? Or something like that, and it's like £3 or something like that. Unlike the BP petrol garage, you know, oh, I love that little poo-packet sandwich on a tea plate. Yeah, £6, please. Huh? Huh? How do they sell this stuff? You must be desperate to go into a BP garage and buy something to eat. Or their petrol, come to that. Christ. Have you seen the price of that petrol on that M1 BP as you come into London? It's like £1.50 a gallon. Hello? Asda, £1.14 a gallon. Sorry, a litre. What is a litre anyway, dear? We're going back to gallons soon anyway. I'm sure we're going back to gallons. After Brexit, I shall be demanding that we go back to gallons and miles. Get rid of these litres and millimetres and all that. What is all that about anyway? Roger Whiteside, Chief Executive at Greggs. Could someone email him, please, and tell him that someone's been talking about his products and would like to sample one? Please send a box immediately. Thank you. Roger Whiteside, Chief Executive at Greggs, says, like many food retailers, we have seen increasing demand for vegetarian and vegan products. We have been trying to develop a vegan version of our famous sausage rolls for some time now, and they've done it. They've done it. It's not been easy, but our taste panel customers, wouldn't you like to be on a taste panel? Yes. Your job is to go in each morning and taste different foods. Vegan sausage rolls. Chocolate. Yes, please. So we have decided to launch it as a contribution to Veganuary. I bet it goes well. I bet you it goes well. The popular bakery chain decided to launch the product following a petition by PETA. Actually, some PETA people come into the pub that I work in, Central Station, often where I do the karaoke on Monday and Fridays. Since the announcement, Twitter has gone wild for the snack. So that's excellent, isn't it? That's Greggs. And there is another company, actually. There's another company who, it could be argued, are even better known than Greggs. They've launched something. I'll tell you about it after we've come to the messages, boys and girls. Let's say hello to some of you this morning. Now, keep an eye on your messages. Sometimes they don't always come through to me, okay? So if 20 minutes or so passes and if I've read... Oh, excuse me, I'm hiccuping away here. If I've read a load of messages out and yours hasn't yet come up, okay, send it as a private Facebook message, in Facebook Messenger, and they definitely come through. I'll pick it up from that. YouTube, you have no problem at all. Vaughan, I haven't had any Vaughan messages recently, so I don't know about that one. Okay, so that might, the Vaughan Live ones, I'm not sure about that. Periscope messages, I'm afraid, do not come through at all for some reason. We don't know why. YouTube is fine. And what's the other one that's fine? I think Twitch is fine as well. So Periscope messages don't come through, I'm afraid. However, you can use the text-in number. There's a phone number there, 07551 259 675. It's only for text messages. If you ring it, no one will answer. Okay, it's just for text messages. So if you want to send a text message at any time, that's the number there, 07551 259 675, if you find your messages for some reason aren't coming through to me. First message of the day. Good morning to Adam the plumber, who's working away this morning. Good morning, Adam. Hope you're well. He's been doing a little bit of painting and decorating in a little place in Stevenage, haven't you? Good morning, Adam. Mark Jones, a very good morning to you. Diane Jebb is in the house, as is Jerry Cashmore Smith. Chris Manzar, I love your surname. Little Dukey boy, Chrissy baby. Good morning to Dukey boy. Adrian Richardson is in the house. Good morning, Adrian. Morning to John Parrish. Shawley Anna, that's a lovely name, Shawley. Now, she says good afternoon, so you must be somewhere else. Somewhere else. Good morning to... Oh, there's my sister, Sharon Butler. What are you waiting for? She says, we are waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for, sis. There's another Sharon Butler classic coming up in just a moment's time, boys and girls. Don't worry. Sharon Butler's my sister. She's the one that come up with the classic sayings. Over the years, she's come out with some classics, and there's another one following soon in the next 10 minutes. Be excited, gang. Good morning to... hello, Abdirahman. Good morning to you, sir. John Parrish says, Steve Allen asked me to let you know he's proud you're copying his format. I don't copy anyone's format, John. I do my own thing, mate. One of the worst things you can do is copy someone else. It's the worst thing you can do. Do not copy anyone. Just do your own thing. If you copy someone, it won't work. You've only got to listen to most of the independent local radio stations, the music format ones, to realise that. Wherever you are, whatever you're listening to, it all sounds the same. How boring is that? How boring would be if you went out and everyone looked and sounded the same? Awful. One thing I don't do is copy, John. Adam the plumber. Perfect timing, Adam says. I can listen to you while I walk around the town posting Slimming World leaflets through people's doors, giving them a chance to have a lifestyle change. I believe there was something on ITV Breakfast Time with someone saying that Slimming World was just an excuse to take money off people and it doesn't really work. It bloody well does work. I mean, I don't know what that bloke was talking about. Really? He ain't got a clue. It does work, but you've got to stick to it. You come off it and your weight goes on again. What did you think would happen? I mean, it's just stupid, that is. If you go to Slimming World or Weight Watchers or something like that, they give you a plan. When you stick to the plan, you lose the weight. If you come off the plan, what do you honestly think is going to happen? You think you can stay at that weight? No, of course you're not. I mean, it's obvious. How stupid can you actually be to believe that? If you come off the plan, you can have a little treat now and again. That's all right. It's when you come off it and you treat yourself every day, like I've been doing. Large bags of crisps and things like that. But we will get back on it. Don't worry, Adam. Morning to Weird City Citizen over there on YouTube. Good morning. Hello to Roy Martin. Mercury. That's correct, Roy. That's correct. You're thinking of the theme tune, aren't you? The theme tune to my show... I have permission to use, actually, from the writer. Oh, his name escapes me for a moment. Gosh. Oh, Lord. Very famous person in the music world, he is. Oh, it's not... Oh. Oh, God. I can't blooming remember. Can you believe that? I can't remember anyway. I found out who wrote that piece of music and I wrote to them, asked permission, how much would it cost? And he said, no, please use it, which is a nice thing to do, isn't it, Roy? Good morning to Billy Mack. Good morning, Billy. I gather it's your birthday today. That will be coming up later. Billy. Oh, Billy Mack. Where are you going back? Good morning, Billy. Tina Fink. Good morning, Tina. Craig has just woken up. After the last 2 days of the Christmas break, just woken up. Wakey, 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 wakey. What's that number there you've put there, Shirley? What is that? What's that number there? Oh, hang on a minute. Did I say 2018 at the beginning of the show? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. It is, of course, 2019 now. Morning to Juan, who says, great Scott, I'm having the privilege of hearing the show today. Good morning to you, Juan. Adrian Richardson, M&S are doing a plant food range. So there's a lot of shops doing this now. You've only got to go in some of these places and see how big the vegetarian section has increased in size, whether it be the freezer cabinet or the cooler cabinet. You know, it's certainly... what's the particular place? Sainsbury's, actually. It's Sainsbury's in Bracknell. It's got much bigger. That vegetarian and the Quorn range is much bigger now as well. Although I do find Quorn expensive. I do. I don't know how they charge so much. Morning to Claire. Hello, you lovely lady. Claire is in the house. She brought her family into the Central Station karaoke last Friday. Billy, Greg's do a vegan sausage roll. It's only 20 calories less than the normal one. Yeah, it's the pastry, Billy. It's the pastry. It's all pastry. That's the problem. Good morning to Maureen. texting us in on the text system this morning. Adam, I am a second-hand vegetarian. I eat dead animals that eat vegetables. Weird to insist on expecting a little snow in Worthing. Going to make a gender-neutral snow person in your honour. I know you're a fan of the PC movement. No, not really. They can stick one, mate. PC, not me. You know, you'll find most people, we don't want to offend anyone. It's the people that seek to be offended that get on my nerves. They're constantly looking for something that upsets them, aren't they? Morning to Simon Keane, who said, I enjoyed yesterday's show, Mr. Chop Chop, but now won't see any more for 7 weeks. He's off to Nashville, Tennessee. He's made £5,000 profit on the 2-week dart tournament that just finished. I put £1,000 on 3-1, and it goes into numbers and all that, I don't know. But he's won a load of money. He's won a load of money and he's going to Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, yes. And we were also talking yesterday, I think it was... who was it who watched this show? Oh, I can't remember now. Someone who watches a show, they've gone into hospital for a little operation. And I asked you to vote on whether she should have something put in or taken out. The choice is yours. Okay, and Simon writes, Mr. Chop Chop, regarding your 2 votes on having something removed or put in, don't bother, because if the put in gets the most votes, if the put in gets the most votes, the removers will want a second vote by saying no one knew what they were voting for. Simon, you are funny, my dear. Good morning to Ray Reynolds, who says Waitrose will be or are doing vegetarian fish fingers. Yes, they are, Ray. Vegetarian fish fingers. They'll look like fish fingers. They'll taste like fish fingers, but there won't be any fish in them. Very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed what's going on with this vegetarian stuff. Adrian says you sound like a turkey, not a chicken. You look like a dead turkey, Adrian. When I saw you on Friday, you looked like I thought you were dead. Sitting there, clucking away at the bar, begging for another drink, dear. John Parrish, if you were stranded on a desert island with 2 others, would you eat one of them? If yes, where would you start? Oh, at the bum. The bum, that's usually the neatest, nicest part. Unless it was yours, John, in which case I wouldn't eat you at all. In fact, I'd probably just throw you into the sea and watch. I think even you, if I threw you into the sea, you'd still be floating there 20 years later because no one would go near you. You're just not a desirable person. I'm sorry, that's how it is, John. That's how it is. You know, if I was on a desert island surrounded by the people who live on that desert island and they hadn't eaten for a while, they'd probably really want to eat me because I look like something that could be eaten up very quickly. Yum, yum, yum. I mean, look at me. Look at me, John. You would want to eat me, wouldn't you? Possibly surrounded by some nice potatoes and vegetables. I don't know how your wife cooks. You let me know how you want me and I'll deliver you in a small box. Deliver myself in a small box to you, chopped into nice little pieces. Okay, John? John Brown, good morning. They're concerned about the mistreating of animals. Yes, they absolutely are. What, you're talking about the vegans now? Of course they are. As indeed I am. That's why I'm blooming vegetarian. Claire Norton, good morning, Claire. Dr. SOS Gregorian's in the house. Adam the plumber is... Oh, you're talking to each other there. Good morning to Shane Williamson. Good morning, Shane. Tina Fink. I wanted to stop in and show you some love from New York. It's 4 o'clock in the morning in New York, so I'm going to go to bed, but I'll come back and replay. Hope you have a good day. Thank you, Tina. Nice of you to pop on and say hello. Good morning, Shania. Joanna is in the house. Good morning, Joanna. Shania can't stay long. She's going to church, altar serving and sacristan for a funeral this morning. Oh, say hello to the people for me, won't you, dear? Oh, it's not nice, is it? Funeral so early in the year as well. My dad actually died... in 1996 yesterday, so 96, 06, 16, 17, 18, gosh, that's 23 years ago I lost my father. It's a horrible time, whenever it is during the year really, but especially so close to like a new year or something like that, you know. Claire says, I've just described her partner sitting at home doing nothing. He will walk the dogs, do the shopping. That's about exciting as he gets. Oh, get rid of him, Claire. Get a new one, dear. Something younger. You want a toy boy. We all want toy boys. You know, someone about 30. I mean, they make me laugh. These 30-year-olds, they think they're all grown up, don't they? No, they're not. They're toy boys. 30-year-old boys are still boys to me. They are. And we all want one, don't we, Claire? Come on. I can see that little smile on your face thinking about it right now, aren't you? Yes. Let's go to John McKinley. Good morning, John, who is still in Derry. Good morning, John. Hope you're well there. Just a moment, please. John, don't mention Brexit. Northern Ireland is going to get screwed. Yeah, whatever way it goes. I don't know what's going to happen with that Brexit thing. Let's have a look there. Robert Lunn, a very good morning to Robert Lunn. Sister Kristian, that's what she is, Sister Kristian. Tony Power, I agree, Chris. As a songwriter, I hardly listen to other people's material for fear I might be too influenced by their style. Yeah, good on you, Tony. Never try and copy someone else. You must just be your own person. Good morning to Roy Brownlow, Lardy Man. That's me, Lardy Man. Absolutely. Poor Roy is flued up. He's got the man flu at the moment, haven't you, Roy? Hope you get better soon, sir. Claire, Slimming World, we were talking about, is fantastic. I weigh just over 8 stone now. Haven't weighed so little since I was a teenager. Was there last night. Wonderful atmosphere, great motivation, as indeed it is. I mean, I did the Slimming World. I've stopped going. Therefore, I've put on weight. I've put a stone back on since I stopped going. Do you need to go to a class? No, you don't need to go, but it does help a lot, I think. The fact that you're going there and you've got to show someone that you've lost weight and all that does work, doesn't it? It does work. I'm glad your mum had a nice night at the karaoke. Lovely Angela, isn't it? Thank you. Good morning to Mark Kempner. Morning, Mark. Adrian, what is petrol or diesel made from oil? Always a byproduct from dead animals that are classified as vegetarian, and white plastic is made from oil as well. Correct. It's all made from oil, you know. So I don't know how the vegan thing goes on plastic and stuff like that. It's an interesting point, that is. Paul and Lou are deeply offended. Shouldn't we have snow women as well? Yes, if you want to, Paul. Go and build one yourself now outside the front door. No snow? Oh dear, you can't do it. Perhaps you can scrape some of that stuff from the inside of your freezer and make that into a little snow woman outside. That would please you. Or the PC people who are watching this morning. Good morning to Ben. Ben Atwood, good morning. A little late day. Having an amazingly boiling hot shower. Oh, yeah, Ben, we like that. I do like a hot shower. And it's got to be powerful, isn't it? None of this little dribbling out. Oh, you can't get all the soap off, can you? Very important to get the dirty soap off. Let's just go. John says, I think you look a little out of date. Who would want to eat you? Well, you, John, when you're drunk, to be honest. Oh, you've been all over me when you're drunk, sunshine. Don't worry about that. Who would get up and watch this at 4 a.m? I don't know, Paul. I wouldn't. Absolutely. 6 o'clock where John is. 6 o'clock at night. Thank you, John. John McGinley is a toy boy. No, you're not, mate. You're not a toy boy, John. I'm sorry to disappoint you. You are not a toy boy, John. Really not. Hello to Right Side Up on Vaughan Live. Good morning to you, sir. Chris, is that lovely vegetable on your plate you saved till last? Yes. No, roast potatoes are saved till last. Oh, roast potato. Very, very tasty. How can they say Slimming World is just for making money? When you reach your target, you don't pay to go. Did you know that? That's how Slimming World works. So you pay your £5 a week. When you get down to your target weight, you don't pay anymore unless you go over it again, or indeed under it. Because there's an argument to say, you shouldn't go too far down either. You want a little bit of meat on your body, don't you? To fight, when you're ill and that sort of thing. John, we're going to fall out. I thought we had already. John. Huh? 4:30 a.m. where Chris Manzar is. Good. So that's the Greg's sausage roll. Now there's another company who are doing it. Ready? McDonald's. Let's see if some of the youngsters try them out. Again, the Daily Mail. It may be best known for its burgers, but McDonald's has become the latest in a string of major food outlets to cater for our growing interest in a plant-based diet. As millions joined the Veganuary campaign, giving up meat, dairy and fish for this month, the fast food giant is today launching its first vegetarian Happy Meal for children. It features a breaded red pesto gorgon wrapped rather than the burger or chicken nuggets that come with the standard Happy Meal. A similar one will also be served in the chain's new spicy veggie wrap on its main adult menu. The new Happy Meal veggie wrap was created with the Vegetarian Society and the Brit Mums Network, which put together a panel of parents and children to help choose the final recipe. The gorgon in the tortilla wrap is made mainly from yellow split peas, tomato, arborio rice, I don't know what the hell that is, sun-dried tomato paste. I do like sun-dried tomatoes, don't you? Ooh, I dropped a jar of those once. Oh my God, Michelle in Waitrose. Okay, Michelle in Waitrose, she had to clear it up. I was just doing something and I picked up this jar of sun-dried tomatoes in olive oil. And I don't know, it just slipped out my hand. There it was on the floor. So I went to the checkout and it was Michelle, who's a regular viewer of this show. I don't think she's with us this morning. Michelle was there. I says, all right, Michelle. And she's just sitting there. Oh, hello, Chris. How are you? And she was doing something. She was doing her nails, I think. Hello, Chris. How are you today? I said, I'm all right. I said, oh, I've got a little bit of bad news. Oh, yeah, what's that? I said, oh, I've just been round the corner and I dropped something. You what? I said, I'm afraid I've dropped something. Okay, what have you dropped? I said, it's a jar of sun-dried tomatoes in olive oil. Well, you thought the world was going to end. You absolutely thought the world was going to end. She threw down her stuff and went running down the back. I thought, where's she going? Should I follow her or what? Don't know what to do. So I followed her down. And they had to get the special, there's a big bag of special powder for certain products. And she's sprinkling all this powder on. I said, do you want me to do it? No, it's all right. Apparently, that is possibly the worst possible thing you can drop in a supermarket. Anything with olive oil in it. So make sure you drop something like that next time, gang. Be very careful how you're lifting these things up. It says the ingredients, back to this story of the McDonald's vegetarian wrap or vegan wrap that they're bringing out. The ingredients are dairy-free and vegan, but the wraps pass through the same toaster as the chain's buns, which contain milk. So McDonald's labelled it as vegetarian. So it is, everything in there is vegetarian, but because it goes through this piece of equipment that does do stuff with milk as well, they have to label it vegetarian, just in case anything is infected. You know, a little bit like, you know, when you buy these things that may contain peanuts. Now, it probably doesn't, but it has gone through some sort of machine that also uses peanuts, or they prepare peanuts in the same sort of area in the kitchen, so they have to say that. It says supermarkets, restaurant chains and other food retailers have launched a raft of vegetarian and vegan products to reflect our changing eating habits. For example, Marks & Spencer's is launching a vegan range called Plant Kitchen this week, while TGI Fridays is to offer a vegan burger that looks like meat with a pink centre that bleeds beetroot juice. Now, I don't quite understand why you would want something to look like it's bleeding. That's really beyond me, but nevertheless, this has been bought out. Interestingly enough, beetroot juice, if you get a burger, whether it's vegetarian or otherwise, in Australia, you'll often find on there is a slice of beetroot. That's how they do an Aussie burger, with slices of beetroot. And it's quite tasty as it happens. It is quite nice. And then it goes on to mention grapes. So a couple of vegan things there coming out in the in Greggs and of course McDonald's there, which you may like to try. And if you do, please email the show and let us know, okay, that you've done something like that. All right. Now, my sister's just sent something. Let's have a look at this. 1 second now. My sister's just sent something here. Vegetarians rejoice. Here we are. The new veggie McDonald's menus options have arrived. And it's got the veggie deluxe. Well, I think they've always had that, haven't they? The veggie deluxe thing. They've got the Happy Meal veggie wrap and the spicy veggie one. So a couple of different McDonald's things there for you to try. If you want to, it's there if you want to try it. Why not? Why not try it and see how you get on, all right? John says, I'm still 30-something. Yeah, but it's also how you look, John, I'm afraid, darling. You don't really look 30. I'm sorry to break that to you. But, you don't really look 30, lovey. But that's okay. I still like you. But you came out of chickenhood, 11 years ago. They do make me laugh. Some of these 30-year-olds on the grinder, twink. Sorry? Twink at 30. Do me a favour. Hello to Big Boy. Good morning to Big Boy. Big Boy, I beg your pardon. Big or Big, I don't know which you are. Big Boy, who's on the YouTube. Good morning to you, sir. Tony Power says, I started a diet before Christmas and continued it all the way through till Christmas and had already lost a stone. Congratulations. I don't know how you managed to stay on that at Christmas. Oh, my God, I couldn't do that at my sister's house. Not with all the wonderful things that she cooked. Oh, it was lovely. Especially Christmas dinners. Oh, her Christmas dinner and her roast potatoes were to die for on Christmas Day. She had made extra effort. And I feel that I must thank her for this, live on this worldwide famous programme. Right side up, I just found out my son is getting married this summer. I'm wondering what kind of monetary gift is appropriate for a father to give to his son and future daughter-in-law. Book voucher for £10 should do it. That's all you need. I think you should do that as a joke. Give your son and his new wife a book voucher for £10 on their wedding day and see them open it. And you should video that and see their faces. I bet, are they millennials? In which case they'll probably be offended by whatever you give them. I wouldn't bother. Why bother with a present? Go and buy yourself something nice instead. All right? Claire Norton, the best thing for soaping up dropped oil is cat litter. Yes. Cat litter also is actually used in caravans. Did you know that? Some people use cat litter in caravans when they close up for the winter. And there's very few of us keep coming up in the winter, you see, to our caravans. The whole reason I'm here is because my sister lives down the road. That's why I'm doing it. And it's nicer to be closer to the family. But even there's 2 months that I can't come here. Although I don't really seem to have a damp problem here at all. I've seen various different... I'm on a caravan group, actually. A caravan Facebook group. And a lot of them seem to suffer from damp or... what's that called when it comes on the walls? Condensation. But I just don't seem to suffer from that at all. I think people block up their vents. I'm sure people block up their vents. I've got that mobile gas heater now, which is fantastic. Oh, although I made a little error with that yesterday. Oh, yes, I made an error. I'll come to that in a minute. Right side up says I'm no help. I try my best. Morning, Hayley. Hello, Hayley, darling. Hope your husband's getting on better. Hope Lee's all right. I know he had a little bit of trouble down in Boston the other day, didn't he? John, what do you call a vegetarian who starts eating meat? Someone who's lost their veg-inity. Very good, John. We like the jokes. Musty mould. Chris, don't start talking about your underpants on here, mate. We don't want to know what musty mould you've got in your underpants, so you want to change them a bit more often, then they won't go mouldy, will they? Huh? -7 tonight. Well, it was cold here last night. I'll tell you that. Hayley, you could move into Tracey's house for 3 years. No, thank you. I've got a perfectly good caravan here. It's just the 2 months I can't use it. She has offered that, actually. Yeah, they want the cash. That's what they want. How much is that going to cost me? 800 quid a month? Dear me. We can't be going throwing money away like that, my dear. John, tenner man is good, so I hear. Yeah, you want to try some of it, John? That might stop you leaking all over the bar stool chair. There's been complaints about you, John. Whenever you get up from that bar stool, someone sits on it. Why is this so damp here? You want to try that tenner lady or tenner man? Oh, gosh. I forgot what I was going to say now. Where were we going after that? Where were we going after that? Oh yes, so yesterday afternoon it was getting really cold yesterday, so I put on my mobile gas heater. I've got 2 gas fires in the living room because it's sort of a living room kitchen, you know, like it's a, what do you call that? An open plan. So there's no door between. So there's quite a large area to heat, and the living room gas fire on its own doesn't do the job. It's okay, but you still feel a little bit chilly. So I put on the mobile gas fire, and very quickly I can get it in that room up to about 70 degrees, about 20 centigrade. I can get it up to about 21 centigrade within 25 minutes. Okay? And it gets there, I'm sitting there, I'm getting quite hot now. So I turned both of them down to low. So the gas fire in the living room, when you turn that down to low, the whole thing just goes down. You know, like if it's like shh, it goes shh, like that. You know, the flame kind of drops down and goes a bit more lightly coloured, more of, I can't explain it, more of a bluey colour than an orange colour when you turn that down. And on the mobile gas fire, it's kind of got 3 sections. You know, a middle one and two other bits either side, so 3 sections. And you turn it full on, all 3 sections come on. You can turn one off and 2 of them on, or you turn another one off and there's only 1 on. So I turn that down to 1 and that just keeps it going. Once you've got up to that heat, to keep it at that heat seems quite easy to do. So I was doing my bits and pieces yesterday afternoon, and then it was bedtime. So I turned off the gas fire, main gas fire, turned it off, and I went to bed. Went to bed for a couple of hours, got up again about 6 o'clock, I think it was. And I opened my eyes and thought, oh, no, it was about it was early. It was about 5 o'clock. I kind of opened my eyes. I thought, oh, I think I'll have another half an hour. I'll just turn my heaters on, my electric heaters on, because I can do that in my bedroom, through the app on my phone. I've got Wi-Fi plugs, and I can control all my electric heaters like that. But you can't have too many electric heaters on in a caravan because you don't have the electricity coming in here. We've only got 16 amps. Usually in a house you've got much, like 4 times that amount, so you can put on whatever you want. You've got to be careful what you switch on at the same time in a caravan. So I've opened my eyes and put on my 2 electric heaters in the living room. I thought I'd just have that for 10 minutes and then I'll get up. Then it'll just take the chill off, right? So I then closed my eyes and then opened them again, and 45 minutes had passed. I thought, okay, well, I'll get up now. So I got up, I opened the living room door, oh my God, and this wall of heat just hit me. I thought, that's not normal. How has that got so hot with those 2 electric heaters? And then I could see the orange glow on the floor. I'd left the blooming mobile gas heater on, hadn't I? And you really shouldn't do that. You know, you need to, but you shouldn't really leave that gas fire on in the living room at all. If you're leaving the room, you know, I suppose if you get up and go for a wee or something like that, it's all right. But, you know, if you go and have a shower or something, you really don't. Oh, I've got my blooming finger caught in there, look. Ooh, in between my claws, me fiddling. Do you fiddle when you're talking? You really shouldn't leave that on at all. Well, the thing had been on for 2 hours. And I looked at the thermometer, 82 degrees. It was 25 degrees in that living room. It was freezing outside last night. So it just goes to show you, this caravan, they're easy to warm up, but you've got to keep the heat going. Got to keep it going all the time, you see. But very bad to leave that on like that. So that's what happened to me yesterday. Yes, indeed. John. Thank you, John. I'll let you pinch mine next time you see it. All right. John Paris, where does the expression coming out of the closet coming from? I don't know, John. No idea. Strange, though, isn't it? Coming out of the closet. I don't know where that comes out from. Perhaps a little Google search might throw some light on that one. Adrian, thinking into more about vegetarian stuff, should you be driving cars over 10 miles an hour to save all the bees and flies and mozzies which hit your car when you're going so fast? Now, interesting you say that, Adrian. Do you remember, I don't know if you're a driver or not, do you remember driving a car in the 70s, 60s, you're not that old, 80s and 90s, and you'd go on a motorway, right? And at the end of your journey, every single time, you'd have a windscreen covered in dead insects. Am I right? Remember that? Used to happen to my dad's car as well. He had an Austin. He had an MG Austin. XAN 720 was my. You'll see that on my Facebook wall. Actually, that was my dad's first car. Have a look on my Facebook wall, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. You'll see my dad's first car up the top there because there's a picture of him at the moment because it was his anniversary yesterday. We always had a windscreen covered in dead insects. Now, don't see any. Where have all the insects gone? You not noticed that anywhere? I don't know what other countries you're in. Have you noticed the same? When you go for a long drive now, at speed, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour if you're in Germany. You get to the end of the journey, no dead insects. Where did all the insects go? I talked about this about a year ago on the show. Summertime, I think it was. Or maybe 6 months ago, or it might have been last year. Or the year before last. I can't remember now. But it's true. We don't find dead insects anymore. Not on the lights, not on the windscreen or anywhere. Where have all the insects gone? So, remember that. Adrian continues to say, did you have a cat? Did you put cat flea drops on your cat to kill all the fleas? That's not very vegetarian. And people who got pets, it's not cruel as well, but should be a new name, like I'm trying to be vegetarian, but I don't give up my lifestyle. Adrian, that is it. Am I being too much? I'm going for a cake or 9. Go and have a cake, Adrian. Have a cake, dear. John, you should get a nice man to warm you up. Don't need one. Got a lovely gas fire, thank you very much. And it doesn't fart. Marvellous. I put my lovely electric heater on in my bedroom. Convector heater in my bedroom. It goes on. It's so quiet. Now and again there's a little click, tick, click, click as the thermostat cuts in and out. But it doesn't fart in my bed. It doesn't grab the duvet off me. It doesn't ruffle the sheets so that when I turn over I end up on a fold. And best of all, John, there's no leg that comes across you after a couple of hours of trying to get to sleep, hoping to get some. I want to go to sleep. Go away. My electric heater doesn't do any of that. It just quietly sits in the corner, emanating, sending out heat, ejaculating heat into my bedroom. Lovely, thank you. Thank you very much. My little electric heater ejaculates heat into my bedroom, and that's the only sort of ejaculations I want going on in there, dear. Thank you. Adrian says, I think you're right. We've killed I think we've killed all the insects when we're driving around, isn't it? Hello to Chris. Same in USA. There's no bugs in the USA either. You remember, Chris? I started driving 63, 73, 83, 84, 85. 84. Quite late. I think I was about 23 when I passed my driving test, which is quite late actually. And every single time you'd get to the end of a main road after driving for half an hour and you'd have to clean the windscreen. Not anymore. The bugs have gone. This is probably not good news at all, that, isn't it? John, Chris Reardon, every time I've seen you, I had to have a windscreen looking at you. I used to just that spit flies out of my mouth. I hope you're not, John. Paul, how can you tell if someone's a vegan? Don't worry, they mention it within 5 minutes. Yes. It's like old people, isn't it? Why do they mention their age? You know, when they ring up television chat shows and things like that. They ring up radio chat shows. They're like, oh, hello, it's Mary here. Do you know I'm 84 years old? Oh, hello, it's John here. Do you know I'm 90 years old next week? Oh, hello, it's Betty here. I'm 104 years old. They always tell you their age, don't they? Old people. Why is that? And yet we get people like this, John McGinley, who's on with us this morning, who's frightened of his age at 30. He thinks he's very old. You're not old, lovey. You're just not a twink. Not young. Toy boy. Paul, I think women have far worse farts than men. Well, my missus does anyway. It's okay, she's at work. Oh, my niece does it. Do you know what my niece did the other day? She did a cupcake. How disgusting is that? In my face. Awful. That girl needs to be brought up a little bit, I tell you that now. Tony, do you keep your matches at a distance? Maybe cars are more aerodynamic. What, you mean the insects kind of fly off the top of them? Possibly. Right side up, I feel the same way. When I go to bed, I want to sleep. My wife and I don't only sleep in separate beds, we sleep in different bedrooms. It's lovely. Yeah, too right as well. All that noise and the smell. Oh, God, the smell in the morning. I have to open all my windows, and that's just me in there, dear. Oh, my God. You don't notice it when you're in there, do you? So I get up in the morning, you know, and I go into my kitchen and start my breakfast. I go back into the room, and there's this smell. And I have to open all the windows. I get very good airing my beds, always. John, I farted once near Chris, and he started singing Love Is in the Air. I don't think so, John. I don't think so. You know they say, I won't touch you with a barge pole. Have you heard that expression, John? Have you, lovey? You just mentioned your age. Calculating your age. My age is 55, John. I'm proud of being 55 and old. It doesn't worry me at all. Oh, hang on a minute. Who's sending me messages here? Mark, I'm planning on going to Lincoln on the 30th of January. Would you be up for going for coffee or tea? Oh, I haven't got my calendar here, dear. I don't know. I can't plan that far ahead. What's the 30th of January? What day is that? Let me see. 30th. It's a Wednesday. I may or may not be here. I don't know. Don't know. A cup of tea. Delicious. The other thing my sister did, as I said to you right at the beginning of my show, my sister has classic phrases. She's come out with great classics over the years. And yesterday, her and my niece were driving somewhere, and I was talking to my niece on the phone. This is the latest Sharon Butler classic phrase. Are you ready? Are you ready? So my sister's driving the car. My niece is on the phone to me. She's chatting away. And all of a sudden, my sister said, "Oh, Tracy, quick, put the phone down. The police are over there." And my niece said, What do you mean? The police are over there. Quickly, put the phone down. Mum, it's all right. I'm the passenger. How does she do it? How does she come out with this stuff? I love her. She's fab, my sister. All right, what's the time then? Oh, it's 10:30 already. Right, we better do today's birthdays, haven't we? Do you know, I've got all this preparation. I haven't done any of it. Look, all that. I sit there. I spend about half an hour writing down stuff to talk about, okay? And I have news stories. Do you know, when I think about it, I've probably got 2 to 3 hours worth of stuff here to talk about in the morning by the time I sat here. And we've only got, look, it's even all numbered. It may look messy to you, but I understand. See, it's all numbered there. So I start with that. What's that? Martin, almost vegan, which I did at the beginning there. Number 2, niece on phone as passenger. Well, we've only just done that. We haven't got to Morecambe and Wise or Skegness or Cinderella. We haven't got to any of it. There were like 9 points, some bits on the bottom here. There were like, I think about 8 news stories. We've done none of it. Funny, isn't it? How we get sidetracked. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping away here. Sidetracking. Freedom Pass, John. You need one of those, dear. Freedom. Good morning to Steve, David, Christopher Murray. You're very late, dear. Very, very late this morning. How can you be so late? We're finished. Apart from the birthdays, of course. It's birthday time here on United Kingdom Talk. A big happy birthday today to Billy Mack. Billy Mack. Billy. Oh, Billy Mack. When are you coming back? Billy comes along very, very rarely, but he does come sometimes to the Central Station karaoke. Happy birthday, Billy. All right. Happy birthday, Billy. Happy birthday today to John Scott. John was one of the DJs on Capital Gold when it first came out. Capital Gold, 15:48 a.m. as opened by the great Tony Blackburn. We bow down in his holy name. Happy birthday to John Scott. I first met him in the Golden Lion, which is in Camden. I did the karaoke there for about 2 years. And he's a lovely, lovely chap. He is. Happy birthday to John Scott this morning. All right. Egle. Good morning, Egle. Egle, I worked with at Belushi's in London Bridge. Today, she is 26 years old. One of the best jobs I ever had, Belushi's London Bridge. Happy birthday to Egle. Thomas Paul Hughes. Good morning to you, sir. 38 years old today on this Thursday. Montana Morgenstein. Happy birthday to Montana. It says you're 114 years old. I'm finding that difficult to believe. Jay Shurry. Good morning, Jay. Long time CMP radio. 36 years old today. Here I am, Jay. Still chatting away, dear. Still chatting away. Good morning, Jay. Happy birthday to you. Greg Peppett. Good morning, Greg. Happy birthday. Jordan Price is a young 39 years old today. And it's Kristian James's birthday as well. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. All right, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to talk to you. And hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow morning around about the same time. Always have your little notification thing set, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I don't know if Vaughan have anything like that, or Periscope. Have your notification thing, because you never know. Sometimes I'll throw in an extra show in the middle of the night or something like that, depending on what I'm doing. I don't have a schedule here. Generally, we're here around about 9:30 in the morning. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.